Believe it or not, there are many people in this world who actually think that the Catholic Church is against science, that the Catholic Church tried to stop science, tried to inhibit the progress of science down through history, and nobody who actually has studied Catholicism or has studied history could make this claim because the Catholic Church loves science. The Catholic Church has always loved science. The Catholic Church has always forwarded science, has always advanced science, and in fact, the Catholic Church advanced science more than any organization on earth for over 1,000 years. Hi, my name is Brian Mercier. I am the president and founder of Catholic Truth, which is an organization that teaches and preaches the Catholic truth. There is a lot of confusion in the church, even in the hierarchy, even among teachers, and people want to know what exactly the Catholic Church teaches. There's too many opinions out there, and the church, facts, God, He doesn't care about our opinions. We only want the truth. So Catholic Truth is here to give you the Catholic truth and help form Catholics to know, love, and live their Catholic faith. In this video, we're talking about why the Catholic Church loves science and many of the good things that the Catholic Church has done in terms of science and advancement, mathematics, and more. And in fact, many people have the false observation that, and maybe if you've read too much of the Da Vinci Code or Angels and Demons or any other books and many of the other myths and conspiracy theories out there, you'll think that the Catholic Church persecuted Galileo for teaching science, which is false. You'll think that the Catholic Church persecuted anybody who threatened their power, but these things are all false. The Catholic Church loves science. Despite what atheists say, the reality is that science and religion can work together. They are both on the quest for truth. One does not disprove the other, but they both complement one another because they answer different questions. One answers the question, who and why? God, because He loves us. And science answers the question of how. How did we get here? Was it the Big Bang or wasn't it? Was it evolution or wasn't it? How did we get here? That is not the church's job to answer. That is science's job to answer. But the church's theology and philosophy tell us about who God is, which is outside the realm and the scope of science. It tells us who God is, why He loves us, His revelation to us through Jesus Christ, and so on. But the specific natural aspect of it comes through science. So the Catholic Church, for those of you who do not know, the Catholic Church is not against evolution. The Catholic Church is open to the theory of evolution, and in fact, the co-founder of evolution was a Catholic. Alfred Wallace, who had far more scientific degrees and credentials than Darwin ever did, he was the co-founder of evolution, and he was a Catholic and a scientist. So the Catholic Church is not against evolution. And in fact, we believe that God could have brought life about through evolution. And there are many questions, and that's a bigger topic for another video, but the bottom line is the Catholic Church isn't against evolution, and in fact, the last 4 or 5 popes have spoken out favorably in favor of evolution, saying that it's probably true based on the evidence that exists. The only thing we cannot believe is that it happened naturalistically, meaning without God, that God had no hand in it, that God is not the author of life and did not bring it about, that it all happened by accident, by itself, and everything just made itself. Not only is that not true, we as Catholics can't hold that because it's untenable. Second, the Catholic Church is not against the Big Bang. Many people say they don't believe in God because of the Big Bang, but they don't even know who invented the theory of the Big Bang. And it was a Catholic priest, Father George Lemaitre, in the 1920s who first outlined the theory of the Big Bang. And Father Lemaitre, who was a colleague of Einstein and knew Einstein, and Einstein ended up saying he was brilliant, he was the first one to discover the theory of the Big Bang. Again, he was a priest, and he was a scientist. He didn't see a conflict between science and religion. And in fact, most scientists throughout history have been Catholic. That is a fact. So for the people who say that the Catholic Church is against science, why would they let their Catholic priests and people, and even some popes and bishops and cardinals, be scientists? That just doesn't make any sense. Why would they let any Catholic, for that matter, practice science if they themselves were against science? It's an obvious fact that the Catholic Church is not against science. The truth is that the Catholic Church is one of the oldest and largest scientific observatories observatories in the whole world. How awesome is that? I mean, some of the greatest scientific observatories in the world that we own are owned by the Catholic Church because she loves science. And in the Middle Ages and throughout the Middle Ages, people say that learning was at a standstill. And anti-Catholics love to say that the Catholic Church kept everybody in darkness. They refused to let them learn. They refused to let them come into the light and read for themselves and grow in knowledge. And there was a complete technological standstill. There was no growth for almost 1,000 years during this time. But anybody who has even read one page of an encyclopedia, in other words, any history at all, knows that this is fake history. It's not true. For many reasons. Number one, the Catholic Church advanced science throughout the Middle Ages for over 1,000 years, more than any organization on earth, and they funded scientific advancement probably more than any organization on earth. There are 36 craters on the moon named after Catholic priests for their extraordinary accomplishments in both math and science. Nobody gets a crater on the moon named after them unless you've done outstanding work in some way, like in math and in science. And there are 36 Catholic priests that these craters are named after. In fact, throughout the Middle Ages, the Catholic Church promoted learning, promoted studying. It started and expanded education. It invented the university system with college courses and such, and they studied English and mathematics and science. If it was not the Catholic Church who was teaching people over 1,000 years in schools and in college about science and mathematics, we would not have been led to the modern scientific revolution that we've had today and that we had a few hundred years ago. It was because the Catholic Church taught science, loved science, promoted science, advanced science. And it was the Catholic Church who during this time invented the scientific method along with many other scientific things as well. As I said, there were many priests. Some of the most famous priests in history have been Catholic, like Galileo, Nicholas Copernicus, George Mendel, Blaise Pascal, Albertus Magnus, Albert the Great, Robert Bacon, Father Robert Boscovich, and many, 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 many more, some who you probably already know. So the Catholic Church, far from being against science, far from trying to stifle science, actually promoted and encouraged science. People will bring up the Galileo affair, and we're going to be talking about that in the next video, but the Catholic Church loved Galileo, promoted Galileo. The Jesuits, who were an order of priests within the Catholic Church, they funded Galileo and his work. They celebrated him with parties. They celebrated his scientific achievements, and he was not condemned for scientific reasons, as we'll see. But the Catholic Church forwarded science throughout those 1,000 years and even does down to this very day. There are Catholic scientists. There are Catholic priests. The priest who married me actually has a PhD in quantum mechanics, which is really smart stuff out in the quantum realm. He's a brainiac and he's extremely intelligent, and he is a scientist. So don't buy the myth that the Catholic Church is against science. If you would like to read more about this, I have a book here. And here, and here, and here. I have a lot of books on the church and science and religion. In fact, there is a book called The Catholic Church and Science, Answering the Questions, Exposing the Myths. This book takes on all the myths that the Catholic Church is against the Big Bang, the Catholic Church is against evolution, it's against Darwin, and all of these other myths that aren't actually true. So spread the word. Share this video, share the good news that the Catholic Church loves science, promotes science, and even invented the university system so that we could have science. The Catholic Church invented the scientific method. I mean, there's so much we would not have today if it wasn't for the Catholic Church. So many of these things we take for granted, and that's the reality of it. So spread this video, share the good news, share your Catholic faith. Please give this video a like also. And if you haven't been here before and you'd like to subscribe to our channel, please do that and hit the bell notification icon so you can get our Galileo video when it comes out and all of our other videos which come out a few times a week. Most of all, please pray for me, please pray for this ministry, and please pray for all the people that we reach so that they will come to know God, come to know his son Jesus Christ, and come to know the truth of the Catholic faith. And if you can, please support our ministry because it's people like you who help us to reach the world. God bless you.